Dear students, now let us see this very important concept of oscillation of a two-particle system. Clear? So here these are the two masses M1 and M2 which are connected by a spring, and the spring constant of this spring is K, and initially this system is in compressed position. Clear ma? So let the initial compression produced be, so let initial compression which is developed, let it be X. Clear ma? So when compression is present, these bodies will experience restoring force in opposite direction. Clear? Because already we have studied, no? If compression is in one direction, restoring force will be in opposite direction. So these masses will experience restoring force in opposite direction. So definitely I can say both these masses will experience restoring force, because to apply restoring force on one body, we should have a support, and that support will be given by second body. It means both of them will experience same restoring force also. So how can I explain this one? Let us see. For example, this is a spring which is present at its main position, and this is mass m. Clear ma? So if this mass, if I move by a distance of x, then what will happen? Spring also will be elongated by a distance of x only. Clear? So in this mass, it experience a restoring force of kx in opposite in this direction. Similarly, this support to which this spring is connected, it also experience same restoring force but in opposite direction. So same concept here also. So first mass as well as second mass, both of them they will experience restoring forces in opposite direction, and the magnitude of restoring force will be equal. Clear ma? So therefore, if initial compression is x naught, then what is the restoring force experienced by them? Restoring force experienced by each body will be equal to k into x. That's all, no? K into x. Both of them will experience same restoring force. Clear ma? But if I write for mass m1, this is mass m1, no? So on this mass m1, this is the only force which is acting. Friction we are not considering here. So restoring force Fr is equals to k into x. That is the only force which is acting on mass m1. Clear ma? So therefore I can write, so net force is equals to mass into acceleration is equals to restoring force is how much? Restoring force is k into x. Clear ma? So therefore, what is the acceleration produced in the first body? A1 is equals to kx divided by m1. This is the acceleration produced in second body. Clear? First body. Similarly, if I write for mass m2, okay ma? If I write for mass m2, then here also net force is how much? Net force is kx, which is equals to m2 into a2. Clear no ma? So therefore, acceleration will be how much? A2 is equals to, so kx divided by m2. Clear ma? So this is the acceleration produced in second body. So accelerations are definitely not equal. Why accelerations are not equal? Because masses are different, no? Clear ma? Because already we have studied that F is equals to mass into acceleration. Force is the same for both of them, but mass is different. So acceleration also will be different. So first body will have an acceleration of kx by m1. Second body will have an acceleration of kx divided by m2. So as accelerations are different, so the velocities obtained by these bodies after some time also will be different. Clear? For example, after a time of 1 second, velocity of this body will be different, and velocity of this body will also be different. Clear ma? Similarly, distance traveled by this body will be different, and distance traveled by second body also will be different, because accelerations are different. Are you able to understand? So I hope you are able to understand up to here. Clear ma? Then after some time what will happen? This spring, it will go into relaxed position. Clear ma? So when spring goes into relaxed position, then what will happen? The restoring forces experienced by both the bodies will become zero, because there is no elongation or there is no compression produced in the spring, no ma? If there is no elongation and if there is no compression, definitely I can say the restoring force developed also will be 0. Clear? So therefore after some time, so previously masses were present here, no, in the initial compressed position. So now what will happen now? First mass, let us consider it has traveled by some distance up to here. So this is the position of first mass, mass m1. And similarly, let us consider second body has traveled up to here, and let this mass, let it be m2. Clear, ma? And this is how now the spring is connected. Clear? Now in this condition, the spring is in relaxed position. In relaxed position, the restoring forces experienced are 0. Clear? Now the question is, will they stop here or again will they continue to move? That think about this one. So at the mean position, definitely compression produced is 0, but velocities are maximum, no? So again these bodies, they will continue to travel in the same direction, because already we have studied that at the mean position, so velocity of the body performing SHM will be maximum. Clear, Noma? So therefore, what will happen now? Let us draw the new diagram again. So previously this was the position at which bodies were present at the mean position. Clear, Nama? So from here, again this body will be displaced by a distance of x1, and second body will be displaced by a distance of x2. Clear? So I will draw this new diagram. So this is mass m1 and this is our mass m2. Clear? So bodies will move up to here. Now the spring is present in elongated position. Clear? Now what is the total elongation produced? Total elongation produced is x1 plus x2. Clear? So let us write that one. So now I will write here. Now the total elongation, produced in the spring is how much? It is equals to x1 plus x2. Clear, ma? So if total elongation is x1 plus x2, now can you say what is the restoring force experienced by mass m1? And again, what is the restoring force experienced by mass m1? Clear? So total elongation is x1 plus x2. So restoring force will be k into x1 plus x2. Clear? And this mass m1 also will experience same restoring force. Mass m2 also will experience the same restoring force. Clear, ma? So therefore what I can write? I can write, so therefore restoring force on mass m2, on mass m1 first of all we will write. So is equals to, restoring force is equals to k into x1 plus x2. Clear, no? So therefore restoring force k into x1 plus x2 is equals to net force. So this is equals to m1 into a1. Clear, no? So this a1 and this a2, they are not the same, they are different. So m1 into a1. So this is the acceleration produced by acceleration experienced by mass m1. Clear? So therefore what I can write? So therefore k into x1 plus x2 is equals to m1 into a1. So let it be our equation number 1. Clear? So after writing equation number 1, now let us go for the concept of center of mass. Clear, ma? So here external forces acting on this spring are 0. External forces are not acting. They are compression and elongation is happening only because of internal forces. So here definitely I can say external forces are absent. So let us write the statement. So here external forces are absent. Clear, ma? So when external forces are absent, then what can I say? I can say that the position of center of mass is never going to change. Clear, ma? Center of mass position will not change. Now already we have studied the equation of center of mass in center of mass concept. So let us write that one. I can write x center of mass is equals to m1 x1 dash plus m2 x2 dash divided by m1 plus m2. Clear ma? m1 plus m2. So position of center of mass, it is not a change. Clear? So if I take my reference on the center of mass, definitely what I can write, same relation I can write like this also. I can write delta x center of mass is equals to m1 delta x1 plus m2 delta x2 divided by m1 plus m2. What is delta x center of mass? That is the change in position of center of mass. External forces are absent, no? So change in center of mass will be 0. Center of mass remains to be at the same position. Clear? So therefore I can write, so this term will become 0. 0 is equals to m1 delta x1 dash plus m2 delta x2 dash. Clear, Noma? So from this what I can write? I can write, so m1 x1 is equals to, or I can write like this. So let us take this displacement as negative and let us take this displacement to be positive. Then what I can write? I can write 0 is equals to m1 into minus x1 plus m2 into x2. Totally it should be equal to 0. Clear? So I get equation up to here. Now let us see what we can do. So therefore what I can write, so m1 x1 is equals to m2 into x2. So therefore I want to substitute in this relation the relation of x2. So x2 is equals to m1 x1 divided by m2. Let it be my equation number 2. Clear? Now substituting equation number 2 in equation number 1. So what is equation number 1? So k into x1 plus x2 is equal to m1 into a1. Clear, ma? So if I substitute in this relation, now let us see what is the equation I will get. Clear? So therefore k into x1 plus, instead of x2 what I can write? I can write m1 x1 divided by m2 is equals to m1 into a1. This is the relation if I get. Clear? Now further I can write, I can take x1 common. If I take x1 common, then I will get m2 plus m1 divided by m2 is equals to m1 into a1. Clear? Now what I can do? So I want to write this total equation in the form of a is equals to minus omega square x. So I will write magnitude of a is equals to omega square into x. In this form I want to convert this relation. So therefore take this m1 also to the other side. Then I can write kx1 into m2 plus m1 divided by m1 m2. So this is the relation which I got. Clear, ma? So same equation how I can write? I can write, so a1 is equals to omega square into x. So k into m1 plus m2 divided by m1 plus m2 into x. So compare this relation with this relation. So therefore I can write omega square is equals to k into m1 plus m2 divided by, this is m1 m2. So m1 m2. Clear, no ma? So therefore omega is equals to square root of k into m1 plus m2 divided by m1 m2. Clear, no ma? Same relation I can write like this also, no? I can write k divided by m1 m2 divided by m1 plus m2. So relation can be written like this also. So we know omega is equals to square root of k divided by m. Clear, nama? So here instead of m what I got m1 m2 divided by m1 plus m2. And this m value I can call it as mu. Clear, nama? So what is mu here? Mu is called as reduced mass. Mu is called as reduced mass, which can be written as, so m1 m2 divided by m1 plus m2. So this concept is called as the concept of reduced mass. So therefore what is the reduced mass relation we got? m1 m2 divided by m1 plus m2. What is meant by reduced mass? It means that this total system will behave like a single mass whose mass is equals to m1 m2 divided by m1 plus m2. So are you able to understand, ma? So once I got this reduced mass, then very easily I can calculate the equation of time period. So what is the equation of time period I can write? So we know T is equals to 2 pi root m by k. Clear, ma? So T is equals to 2 pi root, and here instead of mass I can write reduced mass divided by k. So T is equals to 2 pi into square root of mu is how much? So m1 m2 divided by m1 plus m2 into k. Clear, ma? So this becomes our time period of oscillation. So this total system, it oscillates with a time period of this much. T is equals to 2 pi into square root of m1 m2 divided by m1 plus m2 into k. Clear? Come on, make a note up to here. Then we will study about acceleration also. Similarly, let us write the equation for maximum amplitude of first mass as well as what is the maximum amplitude of second mass. Clear, ma? Now we are writing equation for amplitudes of the particle. Clear? So let total final expansion be x naught. Clear, ma? So individual expansions or individual amplitudes, let it be a1 plus a2. So therefore amplitude of first particle plus amplitude of second particle, it should be equal to total elongation produced in the spring, which is called x naught. So let it be our equation number 1. Clear, ma? So at the position of maximum elongation also, again the position of center of mass will not change, no? So just like how we have written previously what we derived m1 x1 is equals to m2 x2. Similarly here we will derive m1 a1 is equals to m2 into a2. So therefore what is a2? a2 is m1 a1 divided by m2. Take this equation and substitute here. So therefore I will get a1 plus, instead of a2 what I can write? So m1 a1 divided by m2 is equals to x naught. Clear, ma? So if I take a1 common and if I take the LCM, then I will get m2 plus m1 divided by m2 is equals to x naught. So therefore this is a1. So a1 is equals to m2 x naught divided by m1 plus m2. Clear, ma? And what is x naught here? X naught is the total final compression at the maximum compression of this spring. Clear, ma? So this is our equation for a1. Similarly, I can write equation for a2 also, no? So m1 x1 divided by m1 plus m2. So this will be the final what you called amplitudes if the final expansion produced is x naught in the total spring. Clear? So these equations are also important, so very easily we have calculated them. Okay, come on. Now let us see this question. So in this following system, if masses are slightly displaced and released, then find the time period of oscillation. Clear, Nama? So if I see this first question, so this is nothing but a two particle system. So where two masses are connected by a spring whose spring constant, let it be k. Clear, Nama? And we can neglect the friction between this small m and this capital M. So this is exactly similar to the theory part which we have studied just now. So therefore here I can definitely use the equation of time period. T is equals to T by root mu divided by K, where mu is called as reduced mass. Clear, ma? And how much will be the reduced mass? Reduced mass will be equal to m1 m2 divided by m1 plus m2. So here what are the masses? Capital M into small m divided by capital M plus small m. So therefore if I substitute in this relation, T is equals to 2 pi into square root of capital M into small m divided by m plus m into k. Clear? So this will be the equation for time period of this system. Clear, Nama? Now if I see the second body, here these two masses, they are connected by 4 springs here. So how can I calculate the equivalent K value of these springs? Let us see. Clear ma? So first of all, these two springs, they are connected in series. If springs are connected in series, similarly these two springs and these two springs also, they are connected in series. So in series connection, how I can calculate equivalent of series connection is equals to K1 K2 divided by K1 plus K2. This already we know. So therefore I can write, so K into K divided by K plus K is 2K. So it is K by 2. Clear ma? So for this combination it is K by 2. For second combination also it is K by 2. Now the equivalent diagram can be drawn like this, no? So this is mass M1 and this is mass M2. Clear? So both of them I can draw. So this is one spring, this is another spring. So K by 2, this is also K by 2. Clear? Now the two springs, they are in parallel. If two springs are in parallel, so what is the equivalent for parallel connection? It is equals to K1 plus K2 is equal to K by 2 plus K by 2, which is called as K. So it means that, so this total combination, it is equivalent to, so mass M1 and mass M2 connected by a single spring whose spring constant is K. Clear? So this is exactly the same situation which we have studied. So here also the concept of reduced mass will be, so mu is equals to M1 M2 divided by M1 plus M2. So therefore again I can use the concept of reduced mass. So M1 M2 divided by M1 plus M2. So therefore T is equals to 2 pi root mu divided by K. So just substitute this mu value, that will be the equation for time period. Now let us see this question. So in the following system, the spring is compressed by 6 centimeters and it is released. Clear ma? So the spring constant of the spring is 800 Newton per meter, masses are 3 kg and 6 kg. Then first of all, we are supposed to find out time period. Second one is amplitude of 3 kg block. And similarly, what is the maximum momentum of 6 kg block. Clear ma? So let us see how we can do this calculation. So for first one, we are supposed to find out time period. So this is the concept of two particle system number. So definitely I can use the concept of reduced mass. So what is the concept of reduced mass? T is equals to T pi root mu divided by K. Clear? And what is mu value here? So mu value is equals to M1 M2 divided by M1 plus M2. So masses are 3 into 6 divided by 3 plus 6 is 9. So 3 ones are 3 threes are. So 2 is the reduced mass concept. So therefore T is equals to 2 pi into square root of 2 divided by K. K value is 800. So therefore T is equals to 2 pi into square root of 1 by 400. So therefore it is again equal to 2 pi divided by 20. So pi by 10 seconds. So this will be the time period of oscillation. Clear now? Now we are supposed to calculate the second one. So what is the amplitude of 3 kg block? Clear ma? So let us see how we can calculate the amplitude of 3 kg block. Clear? So previously we have calculated how we can calculate the amplitude of each block number. So for example, what he gave that compression produced is 6 centimeter. If compression produced is 6 centimeters, then what will be the elongation produced? Elongation produced also will be 6 centimeters only, no? So therefore I can write final elongation will be how much? Final elongation also will be 6 centimeters only, and let us call this as x naught. Clear? Therefore, what is the amplitude of 3 kg block? Amplitude of 3 kg block will be equal to m2 x naught divided by m1 plus m2. So this equation already we have derived. Clear ma? So if this 3 kg body, if I take as m1, then what is m2? M2 is 6 kg. So 6 into x naught is 6 divided by 3 plus 6. 3 plus 6. So totally how much? So it is equals to 6 into 6 divided by 6 plus 3 is 9. Clear ma? So 2 6 6 are 36 no? So therefore 36 divided by 9 is equal to 4 centimeters. So this will be the amplitude of the 3 kg block. Clear ma? Similarly, we are supposed to find out maximum momentum of 6 kg body also. Clear? So first of all, make a note up to here. Then we will see how to calculate the momentum of 6 kg block. Okay ma? So already I have calculated this one. This was not recorded, so I am just explaining this one. So see. So maximum momentum, so at which position momentum will be maximum? Momentum will be maximum when velocity is maximum. Clear? And velocity will be maximum at the mean position. So already we have understood this one. So at relaxed position, velocities of blocks will be maximum. Clear? And here I will use the law of conservation of energy. So when spring is completely compressed, it has only potential energy. And what is the equation of potential energy? Half k x naught square. And at the relaxed position, that is when spring is in relaxed position, masses have velocities, and as the spring does not have any compression or elongation, potential energy is 0. Clear ma? So therefore, this is the energy at maximum compression, and these are the individual kinetic energies of the masses at the relaxed position. Clear no ma? So this I can also write by this equation of law of conservation of energy when only conservative forces are acting. When only conservative forces are acting, K1 plus U1 is equals to K2 plus U2. So at the compressed position, kinetic energy is 0 and potential energy is half k x naught square. At the relaxed position, potential energy is 0. So kinetic energy is the kinetic energy of first mass as well as kinetic energy of second mass. So this is my equation number 1. So in this equation, how many unknown quantities I have? So k known quantity, x0 is a known quantity, m1, m2, they are known quantities, v1 and v2, they are the unknown quantities. Clear no? So if 2 unknown quantities are present, I require one more equation. And that one more equation I can calculate by the concept of center of mass. So what is the concept of center of mass here? So as external forces are acting, not acting on this system, so displacement of center of mass will be 0. So if displacement of center of mass is 0, velocity of center of mass is also 0. So velocity of center of mass, this is the relation. Clear ma? So velocity of center of mass as is it 0, so this total term will become 0. So therefore velocity of one body is in one direction, velocity of another body is in opposite direction. So if I take velocity of 3 kg body to be negative, then velocity of 6 kg body will be positive. So I want velocity of this mass m2, that is 6 kg body. So I will write equation for v1. So v1 is equals to m2 v2 divided by m1. Take this equation, substitute in the first relation. Then I will get equation for v2. So v2 is equals to 0.4 meters per second. Are you able to understand ma? So once I calculate velocity, very easily I can calculate equation for maximum momentum, because velocity is maximum, no? This is the velocity at the mean position. So as velocity is maximum, I can say momentum also will be maximum. So what is the maximum momentum? So momentum of 6 kg body is how much? It is equals to mass into V max, maximum velocity. Clear nama? So mass is 6 kg, velocity is 0.4. So 6 4s are 24. So 2.4 kg meters per second. So that is the maximum momentum of 6 kg body. 2.4 kg meters per second. Clear? Come on, make a note up to here.